balikan natin ang ating mga karambulista at ang programa Karambol sa DWIZ.
Balik po tayo dito sa ating programang Karambola sa DWIZ. Ito pa rin yung mga kaibigan, Jonathan de la Cruz. Siyempre kasama natin si paring Joel Laksamana. Good morning, paring Joel. At good morning din sa ating kapatid, ang aming delegate doon sa Paliter Club.
Cagayan de Oro.
Cagayan de Oro. At saka sa Bukidnon, paring Conrad Banal.
Iwagayway mo ang bandera ng Karambola
dyan, brother. Baka sakaling makantsawan natin yung mga ibang natin kasama dyan para sabihin, nanalo ba kayo? Kayang-kaya namin yan. Si paring Conrad ang aming dyan. Front runner. Pero,
by the way, mag-usapan natin ito, Sir, kung Jonathan, pagbisita ni Presidente Marcos sa Australia. Anong tawag ibig sabihin ng guest of government visit?
State visit yun.
State visit?
That is a state visit.
Ngayon ko lang nanig yung guest of government. State visit.
He's going to be given all the honors of state visit. He's going to deliver a speech before the Australian Parliament, which is part of a state visit usually.
Pero ito, ASEAN-Australia Special Summit.
Yes, there is a special summit. Focus sila dun sa military and security alliances. But knowing the President, I'm sure he will be able to talk with the business community. Knowing full well na we have about 250,000 Pinoys in Australia. And they are doing a lot of good work in Australia.
Hindi lang ito sa Sydney at Melbourne.
No.
May mga
all over
Brisbane. May all over yan.
Gold Coast, etc. and everything.
Gold Coast.
At saka, well-regarded sila dyan sa Australia. Many of them are professionals. Most of them are professionals.
May mga kamag-anak-anak ko dyan, kaibigan.
The others are students, etc. and everything. And of course, we also have our own share of activists. Because, in Melbourne, parang Joel, I understand, is now the center of the international organization involving all of the leftist parties in the world.
Talaga?
Nandoon sila concentrated.
Ganda-ganda ng architecture dyan.
Yung Melbourne talaga, old world.
Kumpara sa Sydney na medyo, maganda rin na Sydney, pero Sydney modern na modern. Tsaka Gold Coast, Brisbane.
Yung Melbourne.
Pero I didn't know that, medyo pala, mga leftist.
Nandoon yung international groups. And then, of course, the President will be, I understand, will be in Canberra, which is the capital. And then, of course, in Melbourne. The good thing about it, and ito gusto ko na lang para baka maalala rin ni Presidente ito, he will be hosted by the founder and of one of the groups that visited us, yung Aspen Medical. Itong Aspen Medical is the biggest medical services company in Australia. They are providing a lot of things, especially in the armed forces of Australia and in the federal police. Kasi they are very, very agile, parang Joel. And they provide what they call ambulatory services. Ito yung parang hospital, pero at the same time, fully mobile. Nakakaano sila. And then they go to the rural areas and they can put up a hospital kind of thing. At in about 5-7 days. They are now in Ukraine, ha?
Ganon?
Oh, yes.
Nasa Ukraine sila, doon sa gera?
Doon sa gera, nagpuputap sila doon. Ng hospital, parang hospital talaga. With full equipment, full complement, etc., etc. He will be hosted by Glenn Keys, the founder of Aspen Medical in
ang Aspen Medical, medyo meron na presence sa Pilipinas.
Sila nga yung hinost natin.
We
hosted them 2 weeks ago.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, have they set up?
They are going to set up.
They are going to set up.
They have talked with General Acorda of the Philippines.
Maganda yan, ha?
The Philippine National Police. They have talked, of course, with Secretary Herbosa sa Department of Health, because he is our focal person for this purpose. And of course, they would like to talk with Secretary Teodoro and Armed Forces Chief of Staff Bronner, Romeo Bronner.
So parang may reciprocal host nila si Presidente pagpunta.
Because this is a veterans.
Oo.
Veterans. This is a
Ang
veterans
Australia.
company.
Oo.
But it's a veterans, mostly made up of veterans.
Yung mga panahon ng World War II.
Yung mga iba, and it is supported by the veterans group.
That organization, yung
Mayroon silang organization, and then this, it was, kasi siguro, dun sa kanilang experience in war and in security activities, na kailangan yung mga field hospitals, yung mga ganyan ambulatory things, etc. Given that Australia is such a huge country, so you have to provide all this kind of services all over this place. No? And at the same time, is going to be in Melbourne. Sabi naman nun, pinagmalaki naman, another member of the consortium that visited us 2 weeks ago, hosted by Health Secretary Herbosa and our group. He will be in Melbourne. Sabi nung plenary group naman ito, this is a big group. They are managing funds, etc. And putting up buildings and everything else. Sabi niya, he will be in our convention center. We are the ones who put up that convention center, and sabi niya, and we have a lot of Filipinos there. Sabi niya, professionals, many of our personnel are Filipinos. I'm sure they'll be happy to meet with the president, etc. and everything else, which is good. Yan ho yung sinasabi natin palagi, parang Joel, na binabangkit natin. The Filipino diaspora is one big source of relationships na magaganda that can benefit the country immensely. Napakagandang ito ang ating i-develop na tayo lang ang meron nun. The other countries in ASEAN do not have that kind.
They don't have that relation.
That kind of resource.
That resource is because of the diaspora na naman.
Precisely. Hindi natin natatap na mabuti ito. They would like to help. By the way, at one point in time, in the Australian group, Filipino Association, based in Sydney naman ito, sabi na, sir, is there any way by which we can at least siguro have some relationship with the bank in the Philippines that can provide the kind of funding for our communities? Because we would like to invest. They would like to invest. Isipin mo yun. Sabi niya, so magkakano, what are you talking about? Sir, we are about, sabi niya, in the Sydney, Metro Sydney area. Meron tayo dito mga 50,000 na Pilipino. Sabi niya, kung ito ho, savings. Sabi lang natin na we will ask them to save in that Filipino bank in Sydney. Sabi na lang $500 a month sa 50,000. Then laki nun. And then we use this, dedicated itong mga, yung mga pondo na ito, to launch to specific communities where we come from. In other words, halimbawa sila,
galing Ilocos, galing Visayas,
etc. Gusto namin ma-develop naman yung aming health center doon, pantulong namin doon. Saka gusto namin magkaroon ng magandang IT system dyan sa aming bayan. Kasi pinagmamalaki nila yun nag-invest kami dyan, dyan sa kumpanya na yan, nag-workout kami at lahat. As a matter of fact, ito yung tinatap ng mga real estate companies. They're all over the place.
Doon sila nagmamarketing.
Kaya nga sinasabi natin.
But this is different. Yung sa'yo, and I'm familiar with that, lalo na sa Sydney, nakita ko, at saka I remember sa Brisbane, sa Gold Coast, itong mga professionals na Pilipino, they really band together. And they really want to help in their mother country or their mother provinces. And dahil, sila, mga professionals, mga edukado, nag-iisip sila, they really actually put their minds together and their funds together.
Ang kailangan lang
matutulong sa atin sino yung kausap.
This is where our senior officials, etc., they have to come out with specific projects na pwedeng makita, this will be something that can be done. Kasi yung mga pumupunta doon, other than the banks and the real estate developers, pati nga yung real estate developers, nagkagalit sila dahil hindi natatapos yung mga ginagawa nila.
I mean, again, hindi ko naman nilalahat. Ang nangyayari, medyo, hindi naman carpet bagging or something. But, ang nangyayari ba, magbebenta ng developments na yun na nga.
Hindi pa natatapos.
Arko lang ang ginagawa. Pagkatapos, hindi natatapos. Malalaman na lang namin sa media, may nagko-complain na, nilagay namin ang aming pera dyan, savings. Tapos,
hindi namin makuha yung titulo. Mga ganun
Tapos, naloko pa sila dahil, let's face it, yung iba may mga mga brand ambassador pa na kilala, yung mga celebrity pa yung iba na yung di ba itong mga kawawa nating Pilipino naniwala naman maganda yung spill, maganda yung pitch, tapos medyo yung celebrity inengganyo pa sila. Yung ganun this is different. Yung sinasabi mo naman is really how to setting up a medical facility.
Platform ito. At saka yan, pwedeng gawin yan na DTI.
Oo.
At saka Department of Sabi, agricultural states ito. Totoo ito, boss. Ang ano nito, ang kasama natin dito, itong State University na ito, kaya sa Penal College. You can visit it kung gusto nyo later on as we go along. In other words, there are a lot of ways by which wag natin, ganito alam mo nangyayari kasi, nagiging mindset ng iba natin mga officials, yung mga malalaki lang na kinakausap
hindi, nag-aala Singapore sila na hindi naman kailangan we have the relationship with go for the low-hanging fruits and build from there. Pagkakausapin mo ang IBM at kung ano-ano
okay lang yun, wala
naman yun, walang problema.
Ang sinasabi ko, kagaya niyan, if you have 20,000, lagyan mo na lang. 20,000 na with enough with enough convincing power, etc. Na convince mo sila na mag-deposit naman kayo dito sa bangko na ito. Itong bangko na ito, we have already asked them and they are going to do these things. They are going to develop agricultural estates all over there. And sabihan lang ninyo kung saan nyo gusto magpunta sila. Okay? Okay yan. 20,000 times $500 a month. Hindi ba malaking bagay na kagad yun? That's a big pool of money that you can use specifically for yung ganung klase. So, these are the things na minsan nakakalimutan
natin. Hindi magandang press release hindi umaabot sa bilyon.
Yung nga problema doon.
Ka-meeting namin yan, naka-Amerikana kami sa whatever, kung saang hotel sa hindi yun
Hindi. Well-known tayo. We have to take advantage of this kind of brand. We have a brand as Filipinos sayang yun.
But I'm sure yung mga kababayan natin nasa Australia are looking forward to that, especially kung mag-put together nga ng mga meet and greet yan. Filipino Australian community o business groups dun sa whether
maraming
Sydney, Melbourne.
Pwedeng ma-work
ilang cities ba pupuntahan niya?
Dalawa lang, I think. Melbourne and
Canberra is there. Canberra. Melbourne at Canberra.
Melbourne and Canberra.
Okay. Kasi malayo-layo ang Sydney sa totoo lang. Brisbane lipad ng eroplano sa totoo lang.
Laki niyan continent. That's a continent by itself.
Pero Melbourne in itself, maraming Pilipino dyan. Marami akong kilala dyan.
At saka marami palang nag-aaral sa University of Melbourne. Ma-workout,
Hindi, tsaka mga professionals, I know a number of them, mga corporate executives here who, migrated.
Di ba si paring Conrad, meron siyang kapatid na may restaurant doon?
They're thriving. Tapos yung mga anak nila, tama-tama sa mga universities na gano'n na,
Again, so, not just, we're talking not just of investments, etc. Even in cultural exchanges, even in sports, etc. There was a time, alam mo paring Joel, nung I was still in government, pinag-usapan namin, natanda mo yung pinag-usapan natin tungkol doon sa teachers camp?
Okay, teachers camp.
Teachers camp,
Sa Baguio.
Sa Baguio. Di ba, gusto natin mangyari, magkakaroon sana ng regional teachers camp. And teachers is a very generic word kasi it can be students, anybody can go there. Ang ibig sabihin, there is establishment na pwedeng puntahan for education, information, etc. and everything magagamit mo yan. Alam mo ba, at one point in time, si Sunshine, Secretary Joe Aspiras. Alam mo sinasabi niya?
1970s or 80s.
During the sabi niya, mayroon tayong balikbayan program, etc., etc. Sinuggest namin sa kanya. And it was for a while being looked into, na balam lang Sir, yung second, third generation ng Pinoys, I'm sure they would like to go to come to the Philippines. Why? They would like to know where their grandfathers came from. They would like to know where their fathers came from. Saan ba ang buhay namin ito, etc., etc. Why don't we have a camp for them in each and every area where there is a concentration of Filipinos overseas? Dito, halimbawa, sa Ilocos. Maglalagay tayo dito ng boys camp, boys and girls camp. summer sa inyo, o kaya winter sa inyo, pumunta kayo dito. We will have a lot of things to do together, etc. We will bring you to where your grandfather came from, etc. In other words, that is also a tourism program, ha? By the way, isipin mo, meron tayong mga estudyante dito. I know for a fact, yung Chiang Kai-shek at saka Xavier, they have classes that go to China. Yung Chiang Kai-shek, they go to Taiwan. Classes yun. So, that's a tourism. At the same time, you imbibe and educate yourself. Hindi, ito, I'm sure they're happy. Saan ba ng lolo, ganung klase?
Diba? Yung kinikwento ko nga yung anak ni Meng at ni Paul na taga-UK, taga-Oxford, si Elizabeth, punta rito, gustong malaman yung history ng ano yan. Talagang she knew nothing. I mean, except for the sporadic visits they had. Pero hindi marunong mag-Tagalog. Ayun, napadpan sa Dumaguete. Ang hindi lang na foresee ni Meng ay may in love sa pulis. Sabi niya, okay nga yan. Sabi ko, pulis na mabait naman yung bata. Pulis sa Bohol. But there you go. It started with that. Nag-outreach sila. But I think they did the same thing eh. Parang, pero sila, kasi naalala ko, nagtanong din sa akin yan, nag-email, sumali sila, ano ba yung gumagawa ng bahay? Sorry, hindi yung isa, Habitat, yung isa yung kay ano?
Gawad Kalinga.
Gawad Kalinga, ang ganawa. Siguro, itong pulis na nakilala, yung mga escort nila, na in love. Pero, yung mga ganun ba? Oo. Gawad Kalinga, Habitat, yung mga ganun. There are others. Nakasabi ko sa teacher's camp, pumunta ako, parang napabayaan sa Baguio. That could be utilized as a center for that.
Iayos mo na yan.
Ay, ganda pa man din ang lugar doon.
Sasabihin mo, summer ngayon. Lahat ng mga estudyante dito sa university na ganito, etc., etc., punta lahat tayo doon. At workoutin natin yan. Doon tayo matira, etc., ayusin natin yan, mag-gardening tayo, at trabahuin natin. Pwede, maraming gano'n eh.
And it's a beautiful place. Di mo kahihiya. Ako, Diyos ko, ganda.
At saka ganda ng location. Things. Diyan sa area na yan. Marami tayong gano'n eh. Marami yung gano'n na mga areas na pwedeng i-revive, i-work out, etc. and everything.
We don't have to pay a grant to Taylor Swift. We have this stuff. We have our warm, genuine hospitality, Filipino hospitality. We have the places and the historical significance. Granted, kulang tayo sa infrastructure. Ay, naku, sa totoo lang, maraming mga puti, mga foreigner. Hindi problema sa kanila. Sasakay ng jeep yan, sasakay ng bus yan.
Gusto nga nila yun.
Gusto nga nila yan. Di ba?
Organized
mo.
In other words, this is an hindi yung papira-pira.
And I think that's what like Andhra Pradesh and the others are looking for. I-organize nyo na. Para naman hindi yung iba-iba kausap namin, ginugulo nyo kami, nagkaintindihan na rito, biglang kailangan.
Dito, iba na naman. Organize lang.
You don't need to tinker with the Constitution. Just organize lang natin.
Organize lang natin na workout. So, marami tayong pwedeng gawin na ganyan. And we would like to do that even in yun na lang, the tradition, halimbawa, sinasabi niya, ay, wala na yung Marikina pagdating sa shoemaking, etc. No! Alam mo ba alam mo naman to, parang Joel, in Bali, yan ang pinupuntahan ng mga turista doon. Yung the traditional batik weaving, batik making, maliliit na shops, etc. And they do all of these things. Di sa Marikina, mayroon ka siguro mga nandiyan pa na traditional shoemakers, etc., pati yung mga gumagalaw. Yan! Paano mo na mabuti yan, magiging stopover yan ng mga turista, basta organize.
Maayos.
Importante yung organization eh. And that organization has been from top to bottom. Hindi pwedeng, ikaw lang organize, hindi mo nakausap itong mga ito. Masisira ulo.
Ayan na naman tayo sa communication. Yung hindi pala nagkaintindihan. Hindi alam kung ECC o study. Di ba?
Mga ganun.
Yun madalas nangyayari sa atin kasi.
At saka nagiging problema natin, parang nagkakaroon tayo ng fast food mentality.
What do you mean?
Fast food mentality na, gratification is now.
Pwede na yan.
Di ba? Kailangan ngayon na. There are certain things that you have to work out eh.
Mapapansin mo, pag ginaganon mo, lalong down the line, down the road, nagkakaproblema.
Malaking problema yun. Ayusin mo, yung gratification.
Nila, pag nagka-problema din, hindi ko na problema yun. At least nakuha ko na yun. Hindi. That's not the way it works. Yun yung lagi, kaya bumabalik lagi tayo nung panahon ni FM. Pres yung tatay. ay siguro pag nagmi-meeting sa mga tao niya, hindi, ito panghama-haba.
panghaban to.
Pag meron tayong ginagawang proyekto, this will have to go beyond my presidency.
No, may lola yung...
Whether it's manufacturing, whether it's tourism, whether it's cultural,
Meron tayong apat ay sikasuhin, pero this one is part of a whole process. Na workout. Yan, kasi kagaya niyan. 3 years lang ako magiging mayor. Bilisan ko na to, ayusin ko na to, at lahat. Yung ganong klase. Hindi, kailangan ko na ngayon na ganito eh. Kasi gusto kong pumunta. Wala! The goal setting, the goals are set, but we are not talking about the journey because there is a journey to it eh.
Actually, I mean, you hit the nail in the head there, Kong Jonathan. Not only sa national government, more so sa LGUs natin. Parang yung gano'n ng mindset eh. Ano yung at least matatandaan tayo.
Gratification nga.
Gratification na yun. Paggagawa ng multipurpose sa Reman Bill of Governance Association instead of the MRF. Dahil kailangan basketball court instead of garbage collection. Sana. Di ba? Yung mga ganun ba?
Yung mga basic things na kailangan ma-workout. Hindi, at saka, naging tayo na lang. Ayusin natin to. We're not talking about the nation. We're talking about ourselves na lang. Hindi. Sila, okay na.
Even during the, if I may mention, di ba, sorry, lagi tayong bumabalik sa panahon ni dating Presidente Marcos. Yung dati hindi naman barangay ang tawag sa sa mga yung community unit natin, di ba? Well, what was it called noon? But he didn't need to come up with the Bagong Pilipinas program or something. Wala nga yung barangay. To tell you frankly, I distinctly remember, bata pa ako noon, because of naming it barangay, and then yung barangay officials, yung barangay kapitan, ganon, they're developed, naging natural na, nagkaroon ng nationalism, nagkaroon ng community, at of course, ngayon, nag-evolve na yun. Pero at that time, dahil din-evolve down there. Kasi I remember, di ba, kinikwento ko sa'yo, dati kami sa PhilAm, PhilAm Life.
Dito sa Quezon City.
Medyo nagkaroon ng, ng pushback nun, dahil opposition naman talaga dating PhilAm nun that time. Pero, bakit hindi kami barangay? But then, nangyari, mas humusay ang pamamalakad. Kasi, let's face it, the Homeowners Association was good during its concept in the 1950s, the late 50s.
Pero you belong to a group.
So, naging barangay na gano'n. And from there on, lalong na-achieve yung mga goal setting na ginagawa, especially kung mula sa national at binababa. Now, of course, nag-evolve na ngayon. But nung panahon noon, that was a planned thing din.
Yeah, it was a planned thing. It was a very planned thing. Kasi you have to involve.
So, even that early, alam na ni Epe kung devolution,
the mobilization has to be done because it is a whole of nation concept. Ang importante, lahat tayo involved. Lahat tayo naintindihan natin kung bakit natin ginagawa ito, bakit natin work outin ito, bakit tayo magtatrabaho ng ganyan. Yung ganung klase.
May DILG na ba nun?
Meron.
Ba't hindi DILG ang tawag?
Hindi,
ang DILG kasi parang naisip ko panahon ni President Cory.
Hindi, meron na.
Meron na nun. And who was his DILG chief at that time?
Hindi, nung the first time na siya naging presidente, it was called PACD. Ayun. Presidential Assistant for Community Development. Okay. Si the dating Senador, who was the Secretary of PACD, Ernie Maceda.
Okay.
Si Manong Ernie.
Manong Ernie.
And then, nung nagkaroon na ng martial law at lahat, sina na yan, Secretary Ronyo.
Okay.
You remember?
I remember.
Piping Ronyo.
And even then, gaya nun, malinaw din ang marching orders ni Secretary Ronyo. Ayusin nyo sa baba, it-devolve. Kailangan kung ano yung mga directive na ginawa natin is over there, kayong talagang
mag-implement. Ito yung mga kailangan sa communities. 11 basic services. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lahat yan dapat available sa community.
I do not remember any grand launching in Luneta or something. Pare,
Trabaho lang.
Tama ka, 11 basic needs
11 basic needs, Ministry of Human Settlement. Yan mga workout. And these are still the basic needs.
Hindi naman nagbabago.
Hindi naman nagbabago yan.
Bahay, pagkain, health, diba?
Power, tubig, lahat, etc. yan.
Hindi, na-privatize yun. Sorry. Na-privatize yan, bro. I mean, na-feel, the private sector can do this better than the... Kaya pala galit na galit ka talaga sa privatization. Because these were being done by the government and local government components at that time.
And saka, it was working.
It was working.
Paano yun? Palagi nga natin sinasabi, there are
si Secretary Ronyo ba galing sa corporate nun?
No, he was a city mayor.
City mayor. Kita mo yung pulis.
Sinasabi palagi natin, and I remember it very, very clearly, nung debate dyan tungkol sa amin. Basta ang akin, sila sa president na FM at lahat, sabi niya, there are certain things that you cannot cede to the private sector.
Yeah.
These are what you call the commanding heights of the economy. Mayroon siyang tawag na gano'n. The commanding heights of the economy, government should be there. Otherwise, wala yan. You are no longer a government. If you cede everything else, especially the commanding heights of the economy, to the private sector, that's it. You lose yourself. Tapos ka na. Because then, ano pang gagawin mo? What are you, a nation building tayo? You cannot cede nation building to the private sector. It has to be the government.
Hindi kasi, nangyari kasi, is the concept naman nung nag-privatization, lalo ng panahon ni FVR, is that by achieving the bottom line, you become more efficient. By becoming more efficient, you are able to deliver better to the... But then, hindi na explain doon. But then, you will deliver at a higher cost.
Patay ka na.
And then, even then, the efficiency down the line...
nagsasuffer. Ang sinasabi nga nun dati, pare, that's what you call the Washington Consensus. Yun ang sinasabi nila. The Washington Consensus was that. Yung sinasabi mo, the private sector can do it better, etc., etc. That there was a time na ganyan talaga yan, etc. Now, we are going back to the original. The Washington Consensus, in many countries and even globally, is already losing its purpose. So we are going back to the same system na the state has to take a very, very active, even a commanding role in nation building.
Bumabalik na doon.
Bumabalik. Tignan mo kung sino yung mga nandiyan ngayon. Anwar, Subianto, Jokowi, state. Ang nagdadala doon, state. Pati Vietnam, of course, state. The party. And of course, China. Yan ang mga, even Taiwan. We have elections, etc. It's a party. It's a party-based operation. Yun ang kailangan natin. Hindi ko nababasa yung sinasabi niyo dyan. Ang oras po natin, alas 9:32 na umaga dito sa ating programang Karambola sa DWIC.
Balikan natin ang ating mga karambulista at ang programang Karambola sa DWIC.
Balik po tayo dito sa ating programang Karambola sa DWIC. Ito pa rin yung mga kaibigan. Aliw 23, siyempre. DWIC at Aliw 23. Ito pa rin yung mga kaibigan. Jonathan De La Cruz, siyempre kasama natin. Paring Joel Laksamana, magandang umaga.
Magandang umaga po.
Magandang umaga po.
Ulitin namin. Kasi meron mga ilang bakukulit. Ewan kung hindi nakikinig o pumapasok. Bakit daw 3 araw na straight wala si paring Conrad Banal? Okay.
Ito, pag-iulit mo na lang.
Siya po ay nagre-real estate speculation sa Cagayan de Oro sa Mindanao. Nagbubungkal siya ng lupa, gamit yung kanyang tailor-made driver. Kada palo niya ng bola, umuuka siya sa fairway. Ayun, yun po ang ginagawa ni paring Conrad. Bukas narito na yun dahil 3 araw lang daw.
Pag hindi pa siya dumating dito, ibig sabihin, ano yun?
Ang akin,
luhaan yun.
Well, ang speculation ko, hindi. Baka gumanda ang laro, nag-decide na lang siya, magpo-pro player na lang ako. Dream on, paring Conrad.
Ikaw, gumanda laro. Ako, ang tingin ko naman, pag hindi pa siya nagpakita bukas, luhaan yan.
Luhaan, talaga. Pati sa rapol, luhaan. Nakuha lahat nila Alex Santos, Anthony Suntay, nila Igan, yung mga premyo. Yun po, wala pong intriga, wala pong martes. Mr. Hard Chops, kung nandyan ka man, wala po. Huwag ka nang gumawa ng kwento. By the way, sir, ano tong yung Ay, hindi ko kasi napanood to. Bakit nagsalita si Secretary Benhar Abalos ng DILG na disturbing and inappropriate ang mga pananalita daw sa ingat daw, wag magmumura ng mga LGU executives. Saan ba public?
Hindi. Ang nangyari niyan nung February 25 yan.
Okay,
Di ba meron yung hakbang na maisog or something like that?
Okay. Saan ginawa yan?
Sa Cebu.
Cebu. Okay. At ang mga nagdaluhan dyan?
Yung mga considered na loyalist ni
dating President
Duterte. At nagsalita doon si Mayor Baste. And then some other local officials at saka sinasabi lang ni Secretary Abalos. Yung mga pananalita po ninyo, tingnan ninyo kasi public official naman kayo, hindi naman kayo private lalo na siyempre, pamamarisan kayo ng mga tao at lahat.
So may mura. Kahit si Trump hindi nagmumura. Si Trump, babanatan ka, pero iba yung banat.
Well, something like that. In other words, tingin ni Secretary Abalos, inappropriate, may pagkabulgar na hindi naman kailangan and everything. So sabi niya, there is such a thing as code of conduct. Code of conduct for public officials. Inire-remind niya na dahan-dahan ho tayo kasi public officials po tayo pamamarisan tayo ng tao. Kung tayo vulgar magsalita at wala tayong parang wala tayong pakundangan kung ano-anong ginagawa natin, wag ho kasi ayaw natin mangyari. Nasasabi, hindi, ginawa ni Mayor to bakit kami hindi pwede? Mga ganong klase.
Gayahin nyo, si Attorney Larry Kidlat, gano'n na nga para ng anghel na magsalita.
Hindi, sinabihan na nga siya.
Public official na kasi, di ba?
Pinagsabihan na siya, hindi na siya pwedeng magmura. So yun lang, yun ang parang pahiwatig ni Secretary Abalos.
Sabi nga niya, we can always communicate our opinions with civility.
Which is correct.
Code of ethics, of mga things like that.
Code of conduct for public officials.
Kayo naging official kayo may binrief kung anong code of conduct.
Meron.
Ethics. Meron may seminar nun.
And then, personal internet yun Di ba? Mayroon mga tao talagang pala, medyo may mga dating na hindi dapat. Pero may mga karamihan naman hindi gano'n. Medyo malumanay. Ang sa local kasi merong gano'n tendency. Alam mo kung bakit paring Joel. Kasi parang gusto mo ipakita kailangan yun natin etc.
Parang yun yung branding, yung person. Hindi naman branding pero tendency.
May pangangailangan na gano'n. Kasi ano bang ginagawa mo dyan? Yung gano'ng klase. Pero may mga iba naman magagaling diyan ako believe doon sa mga matatandang mga politiko na magaling sa tao, how to communicate work. And they communicate, maski na ganun sila ka-friendly, they communicate strength, they command. Mayroong command yung kanilang personality. Meron akong alam, dating governor ito. Ito naman, magaling na governor, talagang he's loved by his constituents, etc. Matagal na governor ito. Pupunta doon, may isa galing sa barangay, na constituent niya at sabi niya, Governor, kapapasa lang ho nitong aking anak na engineer. Baka naman ho pwede siya ma-accommodate dyan sa ating engineering department. Sabi niya. Hindi siyempre si Governor, magaling ito, maayos na ta. Sige, tawagan ko yun. Tinawagan niya yung provincial engineer. Engineer, nandito si yung anak ni pareng ganito, ganyan, etc. Baka naman pwede natin siyang ma-accommodate dyan.
Sa harap niya?
Sa harap mismo.
Telepono, okay.
Edi siyempre sasabihin ng engineer, Sir, wala ho tayong ganito. Naririnig na. Kung hindi mo kayang i-accommodate, hindi mo kayang bigyan ng trabaho ito, ibigay mo na yung pwesto mo sa kanya. Siyempre, yung dagdag, si Governor, talagang mahal na mahal kami. At saka lahat, etc.
Later na umalis na siguro.
Tignan mo kung pwede na matulungan to. Maski na ba, yun lang, maski kaminero o nag-ano sa mga kalye-kalye, bigyan na natin ng trabaho to. Nasabi na natin, huwag ka magagalit. May mga ganon. In other words, hindi naman yung, ganito, mumurahin mo, hindi. Magaling sa magdala. Para siyempre, galing sa barangay ito, layo pinanggalingan nito. Wala ka man lang parang kumbaga pasabi na.
Also, meron mga old school, old style
Magagaling.
lalo na mga politiko. I will give you an example. Dati tumira ako saglit sa Pasig.
Oo.
Yung dating mayor si Mayor
Enteng.
Enteng. Napaka-colorful niya. Talagang, kasi dati mayroon kami sa Manila Water magpapatubig sa barangay. Biglang nakita yung isang barangay kapitan siguro dati ng ano niya, tauhan, kasamaan. Ikaw, susuntokin kita talaga. At saka, pagtitingnan mo siya, mukha nga namang manununtok ang puti talagang. But then again, he is so beloved by his constituent ng mga tao. At talagang siguro, nung lumaki siya, doon talaga ang barkada niya talaga yun. Hindi naman ang problema minsan, hindi na mamana ng anak yung mga ganun. Iba style siguro nung anak. Oo, ganun din. Now, meron din ako mga kilala in later years kasi medyo nag-consultant din ako sa mga ilang politiko na naging sekretary. Merong iba talaga hindi mo akalain. Iba yung public persona, private persona. Ito ng stapler. Talaga stapler ang binato. Samantalang ito talagang yung mga persona nito nagbubuhat pa ng sako at mga nagtatraffic-traffic.
Hindi bagay.
Binato ng stapler yung staff dahil mabagal-bagal gumalaw. Yung isa naman, laki ng respeto ko talagang edukadong tao to, very successful.
Well-credentialed.
AIM, ano pa to. So, pagka hindi nagustuhan yung mesang ganito, ako taekwondista ako sinipang ganun, umabot hanggang dun yung mesa. Ang lakas siguro sa galit niya dahil hindi dumating yung deliverable. Simple lang naman
Kaibigan natin
yan Yung pinagagawa, mga school rooms, class. Kulang yung tapos lolokohin niya dahil hindi maloloko to sa number.
Alam niya to.
Tadyak nung mesa, ganitong kalaki yung mesa, it moved mga 2 feet. Sabi ko, sir, dapat kayo pala nagtataekwondo Ang lakas niyo sumipa. Dahil may mga ganun minsan sa silakbo ng damdamin. Hindi nasunod yung gusto, may pinagagawa.
Pag mga ganyan, kailangan maintindihan mo yan Kasi, gusto mo may mangyari. Tapos hindi mo nagawa. Ano ba? Anong problema mo? Parang ganun
So, baka ganun din yung sa Cebu. Merong mga, yung bang emosyonal, gusto ng damdamin. Pero syempre, ang akin naman kasi, yung nanipa ng mesa, tsaka yung nagbato ng stapler, walang media doon. Walang mikropono roon. Ito pa, kami lang yun. Kinikwento ko na lang. Pero yun, dito sa Cebu, alam mo na, every word, every syllable na sasabihin mo, every comma, aabot yan sa buong apare hanggang hulo. Dahil ang daming media social media pa. So, hindi naman ako maniwalang pare. Mukhang for all hindi naman talaga siya ganun, pare. Yun na nga. Minsan kabaliktaran no?
Totoo yan.
Am I correct?
Yes,
Kaya sa politika di ba?
Ganyan yan. May mga, si Presidente, he took it from his father.
Si Presidente Bongbong.
Si President Marcos.
What you see is what you get.
Hindi nagmumura yun.
Mukhang, wala sa.
Ang mura niya, pag sinabi niyang, ang mura na ni Presidente FM, lintik. Pag yung medyo galit na galit,
si FM yung tatay.
FM.
Yung tatay.
Lintik. Parang ganon. Pag sinabi niyang lintik, medyo ka na doon. Ibig sabihin, sukdulan na yun.
Si Presidente Bongbong kasi, nung media ako, ko na yan, halubilo ilang beses na ng media gathering nung congressman siya at saka nung senator.
At saka doon sa kanyang
tanggap na suntok din, nakangiti pa
doon sa pakain ni parang Elmer.
Yun. Yun. Sumat pa nga ng scotch. Okay, bari, kahit anong itanong mo. Meron isa, bro. I distinctly remember kasi nung batang reporter ako, si JPE, nung Secretary of Defense.
Iba rin yan.
Iba yan, But yun, pare, he will come up with an extremely lucid, cold put down, at then madaan ka sa tingin na...
yung parang ganon.
Pero hindi naman nagmura, hindi naman nanipa, hindi nating, but really, it's
alam
a type of put down
alam mo na.
Ganon. Si President GMA, I never saw the computer na lumipad, but I've seen her na talagang pagtatanga-tanga ka, or hindi ka nag-research, or something you're trying to put over her. Talagang, at lalo na even media na, sabi po daw ni ano, daw? Sabi, sino daw? Pupunta ka rito, daw? Press conference. Yung reporter, nagbukang tanga tuloy. Dahil,
But teacher
teacher.
Professor to.
Tama nga, bakit ka magtatanong ng daw? Ng pare, di ba?
In one cabinet meeting, I understand. Ito naman, kinento lang sa akin ng isang nandoon mismo. Sabi niya, nagsasalita si yung cabinet, nagre-report. Cabinet member, etc. Excuse me, sabi kagad ng GMA. I'm sure mali-mali yan sinasabi mo. You better take a look at that. Professor, tingnan niyo ulit yan. Why don't you take a look at it again? I think your figures are wrong.
Ayun, gano'n.
Meron siyang gano'n. And all of this, kaya natin nababanggit itong mga kaibigan at mga kapatid, sapagkat these are all public public figures, and you know how to conduct yourself in public. Ma-workout. May mga magagaling na magdala. I remember when I was still in government in Saudi Arabia, I was assigned there for some time. Ang the Foreign Affairs Minister, Prince Faisal, doon kasi
Prinsipe.
Meron ka interpreter
okay.
May interpreter. So nagsasalita. Merong tapos sabi niya, akala mo hindi marunong mag-English kasi may interpreter.
Okay.
May interpreter, pare. Sabi niya, no, that was not what I meant. Nagsalita bigla mo. No.
Si Prince Faisal. Mga yan, mga educated sa Princeton. O kaya din, sa UK, mga gano'n. O kaya,
Oxford, yung mga to. Sabi niya sa interpret, no, that was not what I meant. Tapos nagsalita na siya. And then, balik ulit sa interpretation. Ganun.
Yung interpreter siguro. Ay, sorry.
Yung ganong klase. Ang mahilig sa ganyan dati, and ito naman going back to history at lahat, na magaling siya sa ganon na sistema kasi naiinis siya sa mga Amerikano dati at that time. Si dating Mayor Tony Villegas, Antonio Villegas.
Si Yeba.
Si Yeba. Yun na nag-ano ng mga Maynila, etc.
Maynila,
Lagos nila, yan yung mga kanya. May pumunta na parang galing sa US Embassy. Siya magaling magaling mag-English lahat yun. Sabi niya, mag-interpret ka. Sabi niya dun sa kasama niya. Hindi niya kinakausap ng English, pare.
Interpreter, nasadya niya.
Sinadya niya talaga, galit siya. Ikaw magsalita tungkol dyan. Sa tingin ko, ganito, ganyan, interpret mo.
Binanggit mo si Mayor Villegas.
Yeba.
Divert, dahil
very colorful na mayor yun.
Tatay ko hindi gusto si Mayor Villegas dahil kaibigan, yung nauna, si Mayor Lacson, na talagang...
Iba naman yun.
Yun naman, yun kabaliktaran. Yun, edukadong tao, atinista pero nananadya magkanto-boy persona.
Yes.
To tell you frankly, it worked for him. Siguro kasi kung masyado ka nag-hypaluting atinista, wala siyang kahinatan. At sa totoo lang, gano'n naman daw talaga siya, sabi ng tatay ko, kahit anong panahon ng But Jesuit trained yan. Shakespearean pa nga magsalita yan. Pero pag nagsalita,
yun?
Again, may mga ganong politika nananadya na si Mayor Duterte, ganon. Si Mayor Duterte, educated papanggap din. Parang ganito rin. Si Mayor Lacson din, si Arsenic, ganon din tao, bro.
Talagang acerbic yun.
Acerbic.
Klaseng tao yun. At saka talagang very colorful
ang language. But sabi nga ng tatay ko, pero sa totoong buhay, hindi ganyan yan.
It was effective.
It was effective.
In the Manila of his time. Because in Manila at that time, crime
din. Kailangan mo ng sigar.
Mas masigar. Pero magaling siya. Educated nga, abogado.
Sabi nga tatay, hindi naman ganyan magdamit yan nung college. Yung naka-ganyan, tapos naka-shades nung, kasi gano'n naman ang fashion nung araw. Pero yun na nga, ginaganyan. Kasi bawal sa atin na yung tinataas na gano'n.
Bawal talaga yun.
So, he needed to cultivate that.
He needed to cultivate that image kasi kailangan niya sabihin, "Puta, siga kayo? Mas siga ako sa inyo." Parang ganun ang ganun na sitwasyon.
In a way, bago pa si Lee Kuan Yew dumating, gano'n na siya. Na, dating ka sa akin na may suntukan, may dala akong panaksak. Dumating ka sa akin may, dadating, baril ang susunod. Gano'n na.
Ano siya? Siga eh.
Siga.
Ang image niya, siga.
Now, baka
But he had to maintain that He had to maintain that kasi nga, he had to discipline Manila eh. Kasi at that time, napakagulo ng Manila at that time eh. I think sinundan niya yata, this was several years after the war.
Teka muna, wala bang taga-DILG at that time na nagwa-warning sa kanya na medyo civility? Sabay, it was a different era at that time.
Saka, rally na eh.
Rally
you can no longer say anything. Yung kay Mayor Lacson, buksingero to
I heard.
Kilalang buksingero to at lahat. Kaya, sabi niya, siga ba kayo? Puta, mas siga ako sa inyo. Pero, if he talks with dignitaries,
biglang suddenly magaling.
Magaling siya.
Parang si PBBM na talagang pang-foreign din, business politics.
Matrabaho at lahat.
Yeah.
BP Sara, ganun din.
Yeah.
She's well educated at lahat. Pero meron siyang image. She has an image na, huwag niyong bibiro-biruin yan. Ibang klase yan. Something like that.
Okay.
Ganun din si Mayor Lacson. There are certain personalities like those na Speaker Laurel, pare. Pepito Laurel, puta, mapagmura yun.
Ganun din.
Ay, kawawa ka to. Pero mabait na tao. Mayroon ganun eh. May mga ganun talaga.
Kasi yung dating VP, si the late, VP Laurel. Doy Laurel. Yun naman
Iba naman yun.
Edukado, very charming, very well. Yung education niya talagang lalabas. And tapos kumakanta pa. Ang galing.
Hindi. In that family.
Although masama ang loob niya nung panahon I remember.
In that family, he had to be that eh.
He had to be that kasi napali.
Ito yung brother niya, the speaker, ito talaga nagdadala ng And then in that same family, si Senator Teroy.
Okay. Antero Laurel.
Talagang yun, gentleman.
Urbane.
Iba. The founder of, the owner of Lyceum. Of course, yan ang kanilang
expansion na sila.
President Laurel dati. Di ba? So maraming ganyan na mga personalidad. Magsaysay, pare. Akala mo ang image ni President Magsaysay, man of the masses. Pero magaling yun. Sa totoo lang.
Sinadya niya yung persona na basa, pero hindi talaga.
Ano siya, iba siya. Nakita mo naman kung
maganda lalaki. Not only that, again, isa pa yung naalala ko sa tatay, kaibigan niya yung mga nakapaligid. There was one guy, yung kanyang executive secretary, si Dindo, I forgot his name, golfer na kaibigan ng tatay ko. He liked surrounding best as well, na mga economic managers, financial experts, investment,
si President Magsaysay, dyan, Ambassador J.V. Cruz.
Yeah,
The youngest member of cabinet.
At that
He
time.
holds that record. Mas bata yata siya kaysa kay Senator Kit. Kasi
Kit Tatad.
Kit Tatad. Si Press Secretary noon, J.B. Cruz. I think he was 27 years old. Si Senator Tatad, when he was Information Minister, 29.
So mas matanda pa siya ng ilang dalawang taon or something. Kasi it was bandied about he was the youngest cabinet secretary
of FM. Of FM. Pero record si Ambassador J.B. Cruz Magsaysay, short-lived lang yun. Of course, Magsaysay, short-lived.
Short-lived yun.
Mayroon pang istorya bago tayo maalis. Magandang istorya niya nangyari. Di ba si President Magsaysay was the Defense Secretary of President Quirino.
Okay.
Quirino, di ba? Naglaban sila. He wanted to have then Mayor Arsenic Lacson as his Vice President. Sabi ni Mayor Lacson, ako magba-Vice President, nakatanga ako doon. I will be President. Because he already had a lot.
Presidential timber na siya.
Timber na siya at lahat. ba't ka man ang magbabice president yan, di magiging tanga ako yan. Nakahintay-hintay lang ako yan. Parang ganun ang sinabi niya. So President Magsaysay was forced to get, I think he was the senator of Carlos P. Garcia.
Okay.
Na medyo loki-loki, etc. at lahat. Buta namatay si Magsaysay, pare.
Oo, yung plane crash, nag-accident. Who could have foreseen that?
Sinabi naman nung iba, so
had he taken the vice presidency, he would have been the president agad-agad. Nandun na siya.
Oh, at that time daw, sabi nila, si Vice President CPG, walang pumapansin sa kanya. Walang pumapansin sa kanya. Magsaysay, siyempre, heroes, the masses, a very colorful person. Nung inaano daw siya, nung inaano nila si President Magsaysay papuntang Cebu at lahat, alam po kapansin sa kanya, Vice President, etc. Nabatay siguro.
Siyang naging
nag-president siya kagad. Pagdating dito, lahat na ng tao nandun kay Garcia.
Well, that is ano ba tawag doon? Fate intervenes.
Fate intervened. In the case of Mayor Lacson, he could have been the president immediately after. So, may mga very, very colorful. Ang dami mga ganyan. I don't know if there is somebody na nagre-record ng mga ganyan.
Okay.
Kasi
not to wish anything ill or something. Kaya VP Sara Duterte, wag relax lang. Di ba?
As the good book says. There is a time for everything. Ganyan din
wag magpo-push kagad kung hindi nyo tingin hindi pa kayo sigurado doon. Kasi hindi na.
It will haunt you.
Tsaka sa totoo lang, kumita na yung stop ko gumawa niyan Alam mo, mahirap yung gano'n.
Wala. It will not amount to something that will be good for you.
Yeah.
Work out. Maraming ganyan, what they call unintended consequences. But anyway, ito naman intended.
The long lasso of fate. Yes. Ang tawag dyan.
Yeah. Ito naman, talagang madadala ka dito, pero ito, intended consequence to. Number one muna, bago tayo magpaalam, magpasalamat muna tayo dito sa dating. At susunod na programa, Ronda Pilipinas, dito, nagpapasalamat muna kami sa kanya sapagkat kahapon, ang sarap.
Ay, hindi. Ako, nilagay ko muna sa eskaparate. Yung bunuan bangos, isang boting yun.
Isang bote. Masarap. Nandito na po. Huwag ko kayong alis.
Weekend ko yan. Okay.
Susunod na programa, Ronda Pilipinas, with award-winning broadcaster and super bangus distributor, Dennis Antenor Jr. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat.
Karambola. Sumainyo ang programang Karambola sa DWIZ. Hanggang sa muli, tayo'y magbabalik upang ihatid ang pagtalakay sa iba't ibang mga issue dito pa rin sa programang Karambola sa DWIZ.